Hey there, we are back at it again. Part 2 of installing the actuator in the door. The wires, gotta feed it through here, gotta take off the door panel. But before I do any of that, I need to finish my coffee. It just don't get started until we get to the bottom of the cup. So let me do that and I will get back with you shortly. Yes. Hey yo. First things first is to remove this door panel. And there's a couple of screws that is actually holding it on to the body of the door. The panel, that is, to the body. So this is a screw. I need to take this off. These 4 screws for the speaker. There's these screws there. And then there's 2 in there. So once I remove those, the panel will come off. So give me a minute. I'll get back to you when that's done. Alrighty then. We got the door panel off. All the fixings is in this box so we don't lose any screws, bits, and bobs. And I always lean the panel up against the van so it's just, you know, an easy transition. So hopefully, let's remove this paper, this waterproof membrane. I took my spray adhesive that I use for, don't want it to rip, that I use for the, for everything. Is what I sprayed on here after I removed it. So I'm not going to remove all of them. I'm just going to tuck that back up in there, but I'm going to have to spray it again before I leave. Anyway, before we put it back together. But this is what I'm working with. And hopefully this right there, not sure if you can see it, but this is what needs to be attached to. That little piece right up in there. And last time I had the actuator here and it was connected here. Hopefully we can do it another way. So let me configure the actuator, because that's what's going to take the longest, is connecting this part here to this, not fishing it through here. That's not going to be the problem. So let's get started with this and I'll get back to you when it's done. Be back in a minute. Hey there, this is pretty straightforward in assembling this. Let me put the camera down on something, then I can use both hands and show you better. Be back. Alright, there we go. Hands free. This is the actuator. Goes in the door, up and down, unlock, unlock. This, you put this through here in any direction. So this cable here connects onto this, and when this opens up, this allows this to pop up and down. And to connect it is with these little bits and bobs here. It's 1,000 of them, so I don't want to lose them because I only need one set, and that is this little thing here is 3 screws. You got 2 sides there, so this slips on there and it tightens up, and then this slips in there and tightens up. And actually, let's see here, this is made better than the first one that I had, because the first one, it was hard getting it on there. So the way this looks, it looks easier. Hopefully it is. So let's give it a try. But I'm going to preload it with these teeny weeny little screws. Put that in there and go from there. So I'll get back to you when it is assembled. Be back in a minute. Alright, I went ahead and preloaded this. As you can see, put this on there. So now I'm just gonna fit it on the door, pre-screw it, and then get it up in there. So let's get this part done. I'll be back. Another thing I forgot to mention, utmost importance, is to make sure this is locked. See this, put this right here. How about that? This right here is open, so the door pops up, right? Unlock. This here, door is locked. So if you are installing it and it's open and your door is locked, you're gonna have some complications going on. So double check, make sure the door latch is locked, and this is locked when you go ahead and install it. I came back on, brought this to our attention because I almost did just that. This was open and the door is locked, and I'm fiddling with it trying to screw it in there. So double check, make sure, be sure. Alrighty, we got it up in there. Had to do some bending and twisting, but the actuator is on and in there. It's just not wired just yet. You see it right there? I need to tighten up those screws. And I screwed the actuator there, and if you can see it and hear it go up and down. So let me screw that in there, wire it, take the wires, go through there, come out of this grommet here into there, and then seal all that up, and it's a wrap. It's a done deal. I'll be back when that's done. We got the actuator together. You can see it's moving up and down. It's in there secure. Now I got to get this grommet. I got that one in there. Now I'm gonna put this one here, feed these wires through here, and connect it to the actuator there. So, and then take these wires, shove them down up in there, leave the fuse accessible just in case I need to change it, and connect the brain to this, pop this in there, put the plate on there, and we're gonna call that a day. So let me finish wiring this and I'll get back to you in a minute. Here it is. We have it wired right here. I might need to give it a little bit more line so it's not so tight up in there. Just a little bit. I think that might do it. Give this some looseness up in there, but here's the line here. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of tape on it right there so I don't hear this while I'm driving. Let's connect the brain to it and go from there. One thing I have been, I guess, procrastinating on is, where is the door thing? This, the crank for the door, that on there, is kind of hard. And while I have the panel off, you can see this is bone dry and nice and dirty. So I have my grease, multi-duty complex grease. I'm gonna lather it up while I have the panel off and the opportunity to do it. So when I get finished wiring everything, I'm gonna lather that up and call it a day. Put the door panel on there, and it's a wrap for the project for today. So give me a minute, I'll be back. Well, that's exciting. I love it when stuff comes together. We're talking about the when it's not difficult to deal with. Anyway, I put the brain on there, connected the brain and everything, and I saw that red light immediately, but that meant nothing because it's connected to the battery, so that only means it's getting power. So I grabbed the key fob and let's listen. Look at that. It works beautifully. So let's wrap it up. Let's put this in here, shove all these wires down up in there, and then put the plate on there. And I got some grease, so I need to put the thing on here and grease that up and wrap it up, and project is done for the day. Woohoo! Alright, well, examining this window, the mechanisms to roll the windows down, that's bone dry. And this right here that goes across is bone dry. So I have my automotive grease. We're gonna lather it up. We're gonna make sure this lasts another 30 years. Alright, I lathered this thing up with a lot of oil. It's going down much smoother. Look at that, much smoother. I lathered that up with oil, and then I put some, or grease, put some on the track, put some right here. You see this big old glob right there. So put some on the back of that. And I put it on the track. So, gotta wipe my hands off. Sorry for the movement. But this right here, smooth. Get a little stuck right here still. I think we need, oh, it's not stuck. It's from that, the weather stripping that I put in. I put this in there a long time ago. When I first got the van, I put in some weather stripping, but it's going up. All right, let's put the cover back on this. Yep. There we are. We got the door back together. I just need to clean up the wiring, put that cover back on there, but everything's that. Let's close it, open that, and then take the key fob, lock it. Ah, love it. Look at that. Lock it. Unlock it. Yes. Love it.
2 hours later.
Alright, we had to switch locations, and actually not switch locations. Where I was at earlier today, my secluded spot, I'm done doing what it is I need to do. I'm back here at my campsite. Take a quick glimpse at the people, main road. Anyway, just a little eyeful, a little tease. But I need to finish this. I want to wrap this up. I want this job to be actually completed in one day. So I need to figure out a way of putting that up there, camouflaging that, putting this on there, right in here. Well, first of all, it's on backwards. First things first, it's on backwards and upside down. So let's try putting it that way like it's supposed to be, and bring this around there like that possibly. And then I'm gonna screw this in there and then put this back up in there somehow, some way. So give me a minute. I got my screws, screwdriver. Let me put that up in there and call that a day for now. And I got the fuse. If I ever need to change the fuse to that, it's right here. So I just need to just loosen that up and take the screws off. But let me do this to make sure I don't screw through a wire. Put that down there. I don't need to screw through a wire. That'd be all bad. So let me button this up and I'll get back to you in a minute. We got this all wrapped up. It's on there. Uh-oh. Anal as I am, I don't like the wires showing. But I do need to put a screw here. I'll do this later. This is just resting up against here. I'm going to get some double-sided tape or some Velcro or something to put this right here. And the reason why I'm going to do it this way instead of the other way is because I just want to make sure the light is blinking. If the light ever goes out, then I know it's not getting power. So I'd rather leave it in that position. But right now, this is it. It is all buttoned up. I'm going to get some of this wire loom or whatever it's called. I don't know. I'm going to put it right here. Conceal and protect these wires. And this job is complete. All in one day. Woo! All in one day. Just in time, actually, because this weather is... Oh, this weather sucks. And it's sprinkling. Look at the sky. It's sprinkling and everything. So I don't want to be out and about and the weather turns on me. So I'm glad this is done. Done. Finished, complete. It is a wrap. Until next time. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.